Welcome everyone back to my channel. My name is Doug and I'm here with another unboxing of a fountain pen. This one is highly anticipated. I waited about 20 days for this one and I'm very excited. This is a packet from China, and it's the seller on eBay, Jewelry Mathematics. I love that name. I'm going to do an unboxing of this. This is a Picasso 915 in the red color, and I'm very excited about taking a look at this pen. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing. I'm going to fast forward through it so you don't have to watch the whole unwrapping of this very well wrapped parcel, and we'll start right now. And stop. There it is. I paid a little bit of extra for the box, and you can see my Kaigaloo 316s in here behind. I got one box for those, and I'm going to do a nice comparison of this pen with my Kaigaloo. They're roughly the same size. I think the Kaigaloo is a little bit bigger, but we'll put through its paces. So let's see what this box looks like. So some Chinese lettering on the back. I am sure that it says Picasso of some sort. Shanghai Pafuluo Stationery Company. And a web address. Get this open. There we go. Tag on the inside there. Ooh, this is exciting. Get the right side up. There we go. So it's a, I'd say faux leather, but it feels more like a vinyl of some sort, with Picasso foil stamped into the top and some black stitching around. Let's see. Okay, so we have a little booklet in here in a little fold, a tag that says Picasso on one side, and this is where I do my disclaimer. I am a guitar player, and I have 3 fingernails that I use as picks. See them? They're not gross. I keep them trimmed. None of my other fingernails are long. I play guitar, so I'm not trimming my nails. So get over it, internet. So a little tag, a little booklet, in Chinese, and whoops, some English. There we go. Brief introduction, fountain pen, roller ball. Yep, and some English. Writing instruments, some instructions on how to fill your pen, how to use it, cleaning, and maintenance. Very nice. And a picture of the Eiffel Tower. I'm not quite sure. I know these pens are made in China, but I think the company is based in France. And here is the pen. A little bit of bubble pack, and the pen in its condom. Let's get it out of that. Ooh, I'm excited already. Feeling the weight of this. Very nice. And it has a nice little bed. Let's look at this before I put it away. Soft. A little bit of foam. And it does not lift up. So that aside, while we look at this beautiful pen. I told my wife about this, and she said, "Oh, if it's so beautiful, it might be hers." So I might have to keep it for about a week before I have to order another one. So start from the finial. So I can get focused on this. There we go. Like the Kaigaloo, which has a little bit of lucite or acetate or whatever, acrylic on the finial that covers a seal, the Picasso has, get focused here, there we go, has some sort of logo. I can't see it through the camera, I'll have to look at it closer with my lens, but it's under a bit of acrylic, and the top has a band, a gold band that houses the clip, and the clip has a unique swoop to it, which is part of the Picasso design. And the cap has a bit of a cigar shape to it on the top, and then it ends up with this, it looks like it's sort of a heart pattern or a tulip pattern or something, with Picasso on one side and the pattern all the way around. And then we go down to this, I don't know that it's celluloid, it's probably some kind of an acrylic. It has a bit of chatoyance to it. You can see this in the light. Yeah, it's very beautiful. And that barrel has a bit of a taper to it. It's straight here, and then it tapers a bit down to a gold band and a black plastic end cap, blind cap. I'm sure does nothing. And does it unscrew? I think it's a snap cap. So used to unscrewing my Kaigaloos. Yep, it's a snap cap. There we go. Let's see the nib. It looks like a number 6 size, and I can't quite tell what it says on there. It's very small, but the design is a dove with an olive branch in its mouth, and there's an M there. And I'm just going to get my magnifying glass. See if we can see what this says on here. It says Picasso. You can't see that because it can't focus. But it says Picasso, France, M on the nib. The section has a bit of a texture inside the plastic, on the plastic here. A gold ring with a step at the very bottom towards the nib, and it tapers up towards the barrel connection, which is a gold ring where the snap cap attaches. It's got a pen liner, a cap liner, and it doesn't snap. It has, oh, that does snap. It has a bit of a soft feel. This one's not. Well, that's interesting. There. It seems to be wanting to snap shut sometimes, but it's got a bit of a plasticky feel before it gets there. But it does have a positive snap to it. So let's open it up and see. We have a standard international converter, which says Picasso on it. And it's very similar to the Kaigaloo in that it has this silver band right there, and the gold end of the section. Plastic feed, pretty typical plastic feed, and it has number 7 and that feed. I don't know that those match up with the size of the nib or not. I don't think so. This looks like a number 6. And that has a bit of play to it, but most of these cheap plastic converters have that kind of a feel. So, it feels very nice in the hand. I think I'll probably write with it unposted, but let's see if it posts. Yeah, it sits into that soft nylon or whatever that is inside the cap. And it is fairly secure. So, wow, but you don't want to post right with this. You post it. That's very heavy. This cap is very heavy. I'll weigh it all up and we'll give you those weights for the whole pen and the cap, and posted and unposted. And I'll do some measurements on it as well. But now I'm going to clean it out, a little bit of detergent and water, and I'll come back and ink it up, and we'll do a writing sample. I'm excited. Beautiful pen. Okay, I'm back. I've cleaned out the pen, cleaned out the converter and the feed and the nib with a little bit of dishwashing soap, just regular dish soap, and water, just a drop, and then rinsed it out thoroughly and dried it all up. I also took the opportunity to make some measurements, so we'll put those up. The overall length of the pen is 151 millimeters. The unposted length is 129 millimeters. And the posted length of the pen, if you post it as far as you can, it is a full 170 millimeters. It's really big. And this cap weighs a lot, so I won't be posting this. And the weights, overall, the pen weighs 54 grams, which is a substantial weight. The cap itself weighs 26 grams, which means that if you write with it unposted, it's going to weigh 28. Not too bad. And it feels very good in the hand, unposted. So I'm going to ink this up with a little bit of Iroshizuku Yamabudo. It's very pleasant ink. It looks great when it's wet. It's very colorful, but when it dries, it dries fairly dark, and which means it's not quite as splashy as it looks in the bottle, which I quite like. And so it passes as an ordinary ink. It is indeed red, but we'll give that a writing sample. So let's give it a try. I'm going to ink this up in a different way. When I bought my wife Visconti from Goulet Pens, I picked up a couple of these syringes, and I'm really liking this method. Rather than dipping the nib into the bottle and drying it up and then having to wipe off the nib and so forth, this is a much cleaner method. You take the converter out, open up your bottle, and then draw up a little bit of ink. You don't need a lot for these converters. And just drop a little bit of ink here. And you open the piston all the way. And then you insert the needle into the converter, and you fill it slowly until you reach the top. And I just leave a little bit of gap. Oh, I didn't take enough ink. Doesn't take a lot. So if you go slowly and you don't pass that point there, it leaves a little bit of a gap. You shoot the rest back into the bottle. Well, I'm going to leave that uncapped because there's another part of this. So you put the converter on the section, give it a little twist. Now, you could wait until the feed fills with ink, but at this point, just do a little bit of a dip to saturate the feed. Then you can recap your bottle. And you'll have a little bit of cleanup. Just like that. And you're ready to write. So I'm going to change my camera angle and we'll do a writing sample and see how it writes. Before I do the writing sample, I did want to do some size comparisons here. So I've got the Picasso here, and here's my Visconti Van Gogh, and here is a Jinhao X450. Let them roll down there. And here is a Moonman M1. And of course, compare it with my Kaigaloo as well. Let's take the, there we go. So I'm surprised that the Picasso is so much bigger than the Kaigaloo. I thought the Kaigaloo was going to be larger. But as you can see, the Picasso is the biggest one. Let's put these two close together. The Moonman, with its very cigar shape, is still quite a bit, about 10 millimeters shorter than the Picasso. And that gives you an idea of how they size up. And now let's do a writing sample. Okay, here we go with a writing sample. Now I should say before I begin this writing sample, I tried it out first, and I found it a little bit scratchy, so I ran a little bit of micro mesh on it, and found it a little bit dry as well, so I ran a little bit of a shim into the nib. I have a spark plug gapping tool that has a very, very thin foil, and I just separated the tines just a bit and made it a little bit wetter. So here we go. This is the Picasso 915. It is a medium nib. And this ink is Roshi Zuku Yama Budo. So it's still not as wet as I like it. I was finding when I was writing fast, the feed wasn't keeping up. So it might be the feed. I don't know that I want to try separating the tines again. I don't like futzing with the nibs too much. But it is a nice, smooth writing experience. There is feedback. So I put a little bit of pressure on the nib. Not a lot of line variation, but that's not really expected. Let's see. Well, that feels very nice in the hand. It's a solid weight. It's not as light as my Visconti, of course, but that's a resin pen, and this is a, I would think, brass-bodied pen. So, as always, thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.